Mr. Coffeepot. Mr. Coffeepot, how you doing?
I am doing very good today. Just finished building a bed for myself with my dad's help.
Oh,
Yay!
cool.
Beds are cool. Comfort. Comfort's best. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm actually kind of nervous to be actually interviewed.
Don't worry.
Surprise!
Yeah, very big surprise. Only found out when I was halfway done with the bed.
I told you way before. You forgot.
I know I forgot.
Oh.
Could have reminded me yesterday when we were having your conversation about old cartoons.
Yeah, true. But anyways, let's get to it. What inspired you to be an artist, Mr. Coffeepot?
What inspired me was actually I saw a lot of videos being posted on YouTube, mostly by Gonzo here, of all these artists, Little Miss J, the artist behind Paranoid Twilight, Princess Molestia, and those just wanted me to start drawing because I love their artwork so much. I just wanted to get as good as them.
Yeah, they're pretty damn good. Some
They
of
are
them are
good.
just crazy.
But by the way, I love your Skype icon. So
Thank you.
Yes, I ended up dealing with this guy more often than you do because he and I are a part of another podcast that we do at least Mondays around sometime after 11 called the Posterior Analysis. And most of the episodes, Coffee always plays World of Tanks, don't you?
I can't help it. I need to multitask. I need to have my brain constantly active, or I just start to shut down.
Thanks.
Thanks. Sorry.
Oh.
That little one of yours when you said, "Oh, it kind of reminds me of Doctor Evil." It's like, "Oh, I haven't laughed that hard since I was a girl."
I will not like that hard since I was a little girl.
Oh wow.
Well, um,
Yeah. So, anyways, so tell us a little bit more about yourself. I mean, you're from California. We know that.
Yeah.
Did you go to school to actually become an artist before, or was it just something you could
Um,
actually do?
Honestly, the only kind of schooling I had for drawing was high school art class. And it was in continuation school, so they pretty much gave you a packet of things to try to draw and sent you home with it and said, if you don't trace it, you get extra credit. If you do trace it, you get credit. I just tried. So that's really the extent of my abilities to actually draw, as I was just in a small art class and I just kept doodling nonstop.
So, okay, was your original deal you ever did, or was there something before that?
It's just ponies was actually the first things I started drawing. There's some other things that I gave a shot to, like I would try to draw, but it never became a thing for me. I never got around to actually getting into drawing people or things like that.
what got you into ponies anyway?
What got me into My Little Pony was one of my friends. I kept seeing all this stuff on the internet, and I asked her what it was about because I noticed she reblogged something about it, and she told me what the show was, what it was about, and I was like, I give it a shot. It was already halfway through season one, and that night I watched every episode to the current episode of season one, and loved the show, and just kept going from there.
Any particular episode you really liked?
My favorite episode of season one has to be Party of One,
Pinkie Pie.
the Pinkie Pie episode.
You got any particular favorite characters from either the main, like for example, the main six? First off,
Out of the main six, my favorite has to be Rainbow Dash.
your favorite background.
My favorite background has to be Vinyl.
Favorite princess?
Yeah, for Flutter Knight and Mean Spirit's sake.
Favorite princess, Luna.
Me.
Long live
You're
the
gonna-
Ruler Republic.
You're gonna keep doing this, aren't you?
Who?
Hey,
Me.
what are you talking about? He's not earning brownie points. He's not a brownie.
You're just expecting more Luna people to like Luna than Celestia or Cadence, or I guess now would be Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Hey, that's nothing to joke about.
And besides,
She's a prince. She's a prince. She's a princess of magic.
She's the princess of the night. And Luna's the princess of the night. And there's a lot of people who come out at night.
Yeah, the weirdos.
Oh, Gonzo, you speak like you're from experience.
Go walking at Walmart, any Walmart, at 2 in the morning, and you'll find out.
Touche. I can't argue with that.
I went to McDonald's at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Any weirdos there?
No, I was in the drive-thru and somebody asked what was I doing.
Well, here's an interesting question.
In the morning.
I like this one. I like
my response. My response was, "I'm on a mission from God." He told me to get McDonald's.
Here's an interesting question. I see in the chat room. A quick shout out to how you say your name?
Digital Railroader.
Ask this question. I think it'd be nice to actually ask it. Who's best Crusader?
My favorite Crusader has to be Scootaloo.
Why would you like a chicken?
I don't know. It's just like everyone never gives Scootaloo any love.
I think everybody loves chicken. I think that's what it is. Everybody loves chicken.
Digital loved my answer.
Awesome.
Sorry.
So that being said, no, Pen. That's our job. So moving on. You said Party. What was your favorite? Any particular reason why? Was it because of the grimdark version of it?
It had to do with a portion of the grimdark fandom that split from that, but it also had to do with the way Pinkie Pie just constantly got more and more random and more funny throughout the entire episode, that it just became hilarious to me.
Despite her just slowly going into a deep depression where she's talking to inanimate objects.
We've all been there. Gonzo, don't lie. We've all been there at one point.
I don't talk to
You just have to learn to laugh at it.
You talk to a camera, Gonzo. We all talk to a computer.
Yeah.
I mean,
hello, computer.
I mean something like a book or a pillow or, like in Pinkie's case, a bucket full of turnips.
Rocks and like a flower. And wasn't there one more?
A dust
Monsieur
bunny.
Flower.
Dust bunny.
Madame Flower.
Yeah.
Oui, that is right, madame.
Yeah. Well.
So with that being said, let's move on to the next part.
Might as well just go ahead and go with Penn Story Sky. What's the story behind Coffee Pot?
Exactly.
It was actually a nickname given to me by a bunch of friends of mine on when I was trying to create my character. I was over at their house and his mom left a pot of coffee after she went to work. And I asked him, "Can I have the coffee?" He's like, "Sure, you can have the entire pot." I was like, "Okay." I grabbed the pot, I put sugar in it, and I went to the room and sat down.
And henceforth, Coffee Pot was born.
So they called me Coffee Pot, so I just took the name.
Seriously, did you drink from the pot itself?
It was sitting there for 2 hours. It wasn't too hot.
So,
I've heard the same shit, but I never heard anybody deciding to take the entire pot of coffee and just drank from it.
Actually, I've seen a couple TV shows that people are like, they're that guy, or they pour a cup of coffee and then they take the entire pot.
I'm talking about real life, honey.
This is real life. It's just something I did.
Why don't we go ahead and go through the character of it?
Yeah, let's go into like the character. So it was based off your own self. Tell us about your character. His personality, his background story.
Coffee Pot is originally from I made him because no one ever chooses it. Las Pegasus. because it's a city no one really makes their character from. He moved to Ponyville to get a job, and he started working at a cafe called Good Morning Coffee Cafe, and with another group of named by Pun Pony. He works there with one of their characters. What's her name? Sunshine Morning.
Okay.
Pretty much that's the story behind what Coffee Pot does. His personality is he's just a fun-loving person who just loves trying to make everyone happy. Just tries to cheer people up.
So is it safe to say that his whole entire purpose in his world is basically to make people smile? Is it safe to say?
Yeah.
That's what I literally call service with a smile.
Yeah, caffeinated smile.
But the question is, did the Coven decaf? I couldn't resist.
Only when I hang out after I hang out with you. Because you keep me up late.
I know. It's like sometimes I have trouble sleeping back in the days, and all of a sudden I'll be like, hey, let's go talk for a while. We jibber jabbering.
Let's go talk for a while. Look at the clock. Why is the sun up?
Wait a minute. Sun's not supposed to be up. Oh, wait. Where did the time go? What the hell?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. We're going into the days where the days are longer and the nights are shorter, I'm afraid.
Yep. Daylight savings.
Yeah,
Wait till
I still love that
fall.
picture.
Then wait till near winter, and then we'll have our extra hour of sleep. And you need to get
God
used
damn
to.
Mitch Daniels, you fucker. I remember back in the days, Indiana was like along with Alaska and Hawaii. We did not observe daylight savings time until, God forbid, we elected Mitch Daniels for governor, and he decided to propose that Indiana should start observing daylight savings time. Now I lose an hour of sleep, and also everybody's just getting confused.
Oh, is it always the guys that always complain about daylight savings? I guess so. I'm female. I get up. I always set my clock backwards or forwards, and I still wake up at the exact same time.
I honestly don't understand daylight savings anymore. When I was a
Yeah,
kid, it was like,
originally-
yeah, extra hour of sleep. Now it's just like, why are they taking an hour from me? Why are they giving me an hour? Just give me one time.
It's because it was because of the
Yeah,
Earth.
it was originally
Right.
about. Yeah, it was originally about, from what I remember, it was basically back in the days of trying to conserve candles.
Wasn't it supposed to help the farmers?
And
help
also, I was about to go to that as well. But
But
unfortunately, the rest of us aren't farmers.
yeah, but originally daylight savings was originally brought up and originally invented by none other than our founding father, Ben Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
But was not
As he suggested it.
but was not enforced until after World War One, or was it World War Two? I think it was World War Two, I believe. No, it was World War One, because it was helped to confuse the enemy of the times, because 1 hour's difference made all the difference.
Yeah, but we're not at war anymore. Well,
Yeah, but the thing is,
no,
it became such a tradition with us that it's basically stuck with us.
It's kind of like you're asking about, it's like, why do we always have a February 29th on every 4 years?
that's a different scientific thing that we'll explain later.
Yeah,
We'll get into
at
that.
another time, because this is not the hour to be talking about it. And
We
the
have no
time
time
just
to be
flying
talking
by.
about-
But I still like this little picture I posted up here on the stream. Daylight savings. We just suck 1 hour of your life away. Tell me, how do you feel?
I feel deader now.
Interesting.
You men and your time asleep.
Or the lack thereof. It's like, I can get this done, and all of a sudden 3 o'clock is like, damn it!
Yep.
Although this would be only good. I mean, seriously, I picked this up from stand-up. This would be only interesting if there was like a death row guy whose time was pretty much at the time the clocks are supposed to go forward an hour. It would be pretty funny. Like round 159. Oh, you got another hour to live. Nope, spring forward, asshole.
Well, the only joke I can remember is basically a guy had surgery, and the next day the doctor comes in and says, I have some bad news, and I had some really bad news. And the guy said, oh, wow, what's the bad news? He says, you only have 24 hours to live. He says, what's the really bad news? I says, well, I should have told you yesterday.
Oh.
Why you?
Yeah, let's go.
So, okay, getting back to you, Coffee. With you, why a green pony?
Because most of the coffee ponies I saw were either a lightish brown, a cream color, or something of a mixture of the two.
What about
With a few
neon?
exception.
So-
And I decided green is one of my favorite colors. I'll make it green. What color hair? Black. And I went with that for a minute. Turns out a little bit later I found out there is actually a coffee called green coffee.
Works.
It's a green coffee bean that is, when brewed, turns green.
Nice. Great for St. Patrick's Day.
Great for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, yeah. So, and also to let you folks know, is we met Coffee Pot at Equestria LA. He's the one who actually sat on Gonzo.
Yes,
He's a big guy.
I am.
He's fluffy.
He's so fluffy, Gonzo's gonna die. He's so fluffy.
I think I was going through Gonzo's mind. It's like-
Gonzo, I remember Gonzo was like screaming, I can't breathe! Christ, man.
Don't worry, I paid Gonzo. I got Gonzo back for sitting on him. I gave him something.
Oh, nice. So, so pretty much a quick sum of your character, basically to make people smile and whatnot. I mean, people who have seen your blog and whatnot, it's basically some is safe and some is not safe for work. It's very, very interesting, I think. So, in the, I mean, it's pretty much, okay, he's a Pegasus. Now, why Pegasus? Because there's not so many of them, you said?
Just chose the Pegasus because in real life, I'm a big person. Can't really move very fast or get anywhere. Pegasi can fly. They can go anywhere they want. And they can do it really quickly if need be.
Pretty much.
Makes sense. So, where do you see CoffeeBot going in the future?
Well,
Say,
hopefully
within the next 6 months.
Hopefully I can develop a really good story for Coffee. Right now, the story is just still in those phases of introducing him and the characters that are going to be around him, like other characters I created or collaborated with, and just try to pull out a story somehow. I'm still trying to think of one.
Now, before I get to the other questions, I got a question for you. You work with Pun Pony, right?
Yes, I do.
What do you do with him?
For Robert, I am one of his helpers. I don't really draw for them as of yet. I just mostly I help the artists find things they need to find. I talk to them. I help them keep them motivated. If he needs me to do something for him because he's swamped, I'll pick it up and do it. Pretty much.
Cool. And working with Robert is pretty fun. Is that safe to say?
Working with Robert is one of the funnest things you can do. He's a nice guy, and me and some of my friends in the group just love messing with him from time to time. Like, he'll screen our posts, and he'll look for typos. I will purposely make typos in, like, a paragraph, and just make him rage at me.
Ooh, that's mean.
I know, I should stop.
I think you're taking too many lessons from me. Any future projects that people could be looking forward to?
If I remember correctly, there's still some stuff with Jitters, and if I remember, maybe some stuff with Kinkie Pie.
Nice.
Hey, would it be all right if we try to like plug our show in a bit? We do need
Right.
some. We do need some. We do need some people who can subscribe to the iTunes and to pretty much get some visitors on our site.
True.
I'll talk to Robert to see if I can see if our groups can work together to try to get the word of each other's groups out.
Cool.
I was also talking about posterior analysis.
Yeah, that too.
But
Anyway.
also, you have a good friend, because it was a friend of mine, Toxic Shatter, that you'll be working a collab story with.
Yes. Toxic Shatter is the babysitter for Mean Star, and I am going to be her assistant that has everything go wrong to him.
It's almost like like the cartoon with Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? It's going to be an interesting concept.
So, wow. Great stories, great art, and you're actually working with Paint Tool Sai now, if I remember correctly.
Yes, I am.
How's that working for you compared to what you used to work with?
Compared to Art Rage, Art Rage was like the dumbed down version of Photoshop. This is like the dumbed down version of Photoshop that is easier to use than the dumber down version.
I'm getting confused there.
I
Don't worry.
I think you just confused her, Coffee. I think you better fix it
Yeah,
before she derps on us.
basically it's easier to use than Art Rage Studio because Art Rage has a habit of freaking out, and the what is it called?
Now, Art Rage is a software, right?
Yes,
Okay, just want to verify for people who don't know that.
and Paint Tool Sai takes a lot of the clutter that Photoshop had and made confusing out. So now it's easier to
I
use.
should remind you. Sometimes Paint Tool Sai kinda
Bucks
Freaks
up.
out.
it does. It will just like if you go on a selection and it'll go immediately to like the paint the eye drop, and no matter how many times you have
I
to
actually
close
found out
it,
how-
let it you have to close it and let it rest for maybe possibly about 5 minutes.
I've only had that happen once, and I realized what I was doing. My pens, one of the buttons on my pen got stuck.
That, and I tried to unplug. He's like, yeah, no matter how many times you unplug it, replug it in, you just have to let Paint Tool Sai rest for maybe a minute or two, and then it'll just be all better.
All better. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much all the questions we have, and at least it's the very final one. Any suggestions to any future artists out there?
Words of wisdom.
Any
Words
advice?
of wisdom.
Mm-hmm. Words of wisdom.
My words of wisdom is, no matter how bad your art is, or how bad you think it is, you're always getting better no matter what. It takes 1,000 mess ups to improve just once. And when I started out a year ago, my art sucked. And you just slowly get better and better as it goes on.
That
Just
sounds-
keep pushing with your abilities and you'll get there eventually.
Eventually. Well, thanks, Coffee Pot, for coming on to the show, and we'll talk to you later.
Alright. Thank you for having me.